Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming, the first official episode of the year. This is episode 225. Today is January 25th. My name is Craig Perales, and back again for one more ride, Mandrew Montemayor.
Hey, welcome to 2026.
2026, man. It is finally here. For anyone that's just watching this episode for the first time this year, Andrew and I did do our top video of games for 2025, so that's out if there's something you're looking forward to. And then we do plan on doing our most anticipated games for 2026, and that's also going to be coming up. That should be dropping next week. But how you feeling, man? The year's over. We're back at it again, back on that grind.
And I feel like I'm already just like kind of cruising through games. I feel like I'm off to a pretty strong start for the start of the year.
I had so too. I was looking at because it sucks because I had to beat I think 60 something games last year, and then it sucks when I had to get that fresh piece because I keep all mine on a piece of paper. Starting it over, I'm like 1, 2, 3. So we are getting back in it, guys. So. For those of you guys joining us, make sure if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. If you guys are following us on social media, our Linktree link is in the description. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook. And Andrew and I are a lot more active on our Instagram now, where we're kind of going over games we're beating, so you can kind of follow us throughout the year of what we're up to. And if you guys are listening to the audio-only version of this podcast, you can find this on your podcast platform of choice. Now, before we dive into our main topics, we like to do off the top, where we take a second and kind of go over some smaller pieces of news. And coincidentally enough, I didn't have notes for it because I finished everything before Andrew arrived. But right before he did, the Nintendo Direct just dropped with a new Mario Galaxy trailer. The movie's coming out in April or something like that, I believe. It's right around the corner. It's about 1.5 or 2 minutes. It does show off a lot more. We got introduced. Well, if it was next week's episode, we maybe would have dived into it and kind of picked it apart and talked more about it. But for off the top, we'll kind of go loosely of what it was about. It showed off Yoshi now, who's obviously going to be having a way bigger part in this movie. It showed the frog suit that's from Super Mario Brothers 3. It showed Birdo battling Princess Peach. And I think really more important, it showed at the end Yoshi guarding to baby Mario and Luigi, which is Super Mario World 2. So considering this is Mario Galaxy, Andrew and I were kind of talking off camera that maybe it's kind of a multiverse different thing, and it's going to be these different versions of Yoshi's, because this Yoshi had like a gun, and he seemed to be battling or yelling at the T-Rex that was from Super Mario Odyssey. So a lot more to take in. Again, it didn't really reveal too much of the plot, and as of right now, I think I'm content with what I've seen. It looks fantastic, and as always, I mean, the animation looks gorgeous.
Yeah, the music's really good. Lots of like remixes to popular songs in there from the games. So I'm super, super excited for this. I really love the first one. That I have extremely high hopes for this one. Like, again, this is for sure going to be like a theater movie. It can't not be.
Are you liking that they added Baby Mario and Luigi? Because, I mean, they're like, we were talking once upon a time, it's like, are they going to go heavy into Galaxy? Because what they could have done is make a Super Mario World movie, then a Galaxy movie, and it seems like they're taking things from Super Mario World.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. It's the Avengers Doomsday of the Nintendo.
So, if you guys get a chance to check it out, it dropped today, so definitely go check that out. As far as our scheduled off the tops, let's get into what's been happening lately, and this is from a couple weeks ago, but we figured we'd put our 2 cents on it, and that is that we're getting a few video game adaptations that are designed straight for TV and streaming services, and they're both for Amazon, which is a pretty exciting news because Fallout is doing extremely well, so the fact that these two are going to be coming into Amazon, it kind of gives me a high hope. So let's start with the first one. That is the new Tomb Raider show. Not a lot's been said. I'll go into a couple things, but the production began mid-January, and a few pictures just came out the other day. They're saying it's going to be an origin story, so this is pretty well on. So as far as this is what we know so far. The series stars Sophie Turner as Lara Croft, alongside recently announced cast Sigourney Weaver, Jason Isaacs, Martin Bob Semple, Jack Bannon, John Heffernan, Bill Patterson, Patterson Joseph, Sasha Luss, Juliet Matamed, Celia Imrie, and August Wittgenstein. Weaver will play Evelyn Wallace, a new character not featured in the original games, who was described by Amazon as a mysterious, high-flying woman who is keen to exploit Laura's talents. Unlike Weaver, Isaacs will play a character who is canon in the franchise, Croft's uncle, Atlas de Mornay. 2 other canon roles have been cast. Bill Patterson will play Winston, the family's longtime butler, while Martin Bob Semple takes on the role of Zip, Croft's right-hand tech support and close friend. So there's no arguing that they definitely are swinging for the fences with good cast members. You get Sigourney Weaver and Jason Isaacs.
I love Sigourney
and anything.
Weaver.
I mean, I'm already upset. I'm not upset. I'm already excited for it. So, as you're just seeing the cast so far, Andrew, what are you thinking? How do you like Sophie Turner as being Lara Croft?
I'm stoked for it. I think it really helped too. I don't know if this came out at the same time, but since then they actually put like a picture of her and like the outfit and everything, and she looks really good. Got like kind of into shape for the role too, and that's always nice to see. I mean, you don't have to. You can kind of do whatever, but I think it always kind of shows a little bit of something like, okay, like I'm committed to this character, especially if I can change my body to kind of fit more a better representation. That gives me more hope that, okay, like at least you're understanding of something that you want to try to play it as close to you can, you know?
Yeah, it's weird because some of the controversy that was coming out is that she went off saying that she's not trying to sexualize the character. It says Sophie Turner says she didn't want her Lara Croft to be a sex bombshell in the new Tomb Raider remake. It says she wants to ensure her version of Lara Croft in the forthcoming Tomb Raider remake highlights the character's capabilities rather than her looks. Based on the iconic video game franchise, Amazon Prime's new action series will serve as an origin story for Croft, a highly intelligent and resourceful British archaeologist. And then Turner says it's about her and her story and what drives her rather than what so many people also love about her, which is how hot she is in games and the movies, which is a weird thing because, like as Andrew pointed out, she looks the part. I mean, she's definitely attractive enough. She's got the iconic look. I like that she has the old school glasses on. So I'm not really sure where she was going with saying that. I mean, because what does that mean? Are you saying like you're not pretty enough to be the imagination of Lara Croft? Because obviously we all know that Lara Croft is infamously known for having like a large chest in some of those old games. But as far as her look goes, I think she captured it.
Sure, and I mean, if she just means, like, okay, we're not going to do, like, the over-sexualized thing, you're not going to see me underwater with a spear gun and a bikini, then that's fine. Like, I don't need none of that anyway, so I don't care.
My only problem that I have with this is that as much as I like her in Game of Thrones, I don't know how good of an actor Sophie Turner is. Like, even if you watch her in, was it the X-Men Origin movies where she plays Jean Grey?
Yeah.
She's not really that strong of an actress. Not saying she hasn't gotten better, but for her to pull and lead this cast as Lara Croft, I'm not sure how good it's going to be, and I'm hoping for the best. Is her acting abilities an issue for you at all, or do you think she's capable?
I think I'm kind of leaving it open because, I just don't say, like, in Game of Thrones or, you're right, in X-Men, it's nothing, like, off the walls or anything. Not that I could act or anything, but it's not, like, eccentric or
like
anything.
An angel to me.
So I'm very open and optimistic.
I'm cautiously optimistic. So, anything else you want to add on Tomb Raider?
No, I'm excited for it. I mean, I love Tomb Raider.
Love it. So, the other show that's coming out, the one that everyone's been waiting for, the next Amazon show is God of War. And it seems that the casting has finally been announced for a few of the players. And let's start with the Kratos himself, which is Ryan Hurst, who's known for roles like Opie in Sons of Anarchy, is cast as the main character Kratos in the upcoming live-action God of War series for Amazon Prime Video. A significant move as he previously portrayed the Norse god Thor, voice and likeness, in the video game God of War Ragnarok. This casting connects him directly to the franchise, bringing his imposing physique and acting skills to the iconic Spartan warrior in the adaptation of the PlayStation series. Now, since that article came out, they've also added Max Parker, who's now attached to play Heimdall, the quick-witted god of foresight and the guardian of Asgard, as well as Teresa Palmer as Sif. So I think it kind of surprised a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people were even thinking of Ryan Hurst as a choice, but now that you step back and kind of look at it, it's really solid. It's really cool that I think he was the voice of Thor, so he already has an attachment to this franchise, but I'm not too familiar with Max Parker or Teresa Palmer. I'm sure if I look him up, I'll see something that they're in. But overall, how do you like him? Because he's a big guy. He's huge. He's like 6'6", and I've never watched Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
But from scenes I've seen, he seems to do the part. And after hearing his voice as Thor, I know he's got at least that deep voice for it. So, solid choice. Are you excited? Even more excited now?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really, really good choice. It's like perfect casting, provided it goes well. But yeah, he's big. He's an imposing person. He's great in Sons of Anarchy. I watched. That's the only thing I really kind of know him for.
I think Remember the Titans is one of his early things that he was in.
Yeah, he's. I don't remember the name. He's the captain who gets in the car accident at the end and gets like paralyzed or whatever.
Spoilers.
No, he's great in Sons of Anarchy. He's like one of the best people for as long as his tenure is on there. So I actually think I don't know that I'd like looked too much into it before, other than okay, they're doing a show. I actually thought it was going to be Greek era leading into whatever.
I was just going to ask that too. Is this the right place to start? Obviously, narratively wise, it's a lot deeper to get into with Atreus and all that stuff. But I am kind of surprised. Maybe they're going to lean more of his flashbacks for the Greek stuff. But I mean, do you like it more that they're just starting at this point? Because I was kind of curious about that too.
I think it's fine. I think they could have gone either way, and if anything, too, like these games. Granted, that obviously original God of War is what put God of War on the map. This is what really put it in the stratosphere.
Right, brought everyone back in. I was going to say, it's interesting to see, because it was always going to be interesting who they pick as Kratos, but even being 6'6", that's still kind of too small to be Kratos. So I'm curious if they're going to put the cast around him as kind of maybe just more smaller people, because there's a lot of tricks you can do to make him look bigger. But my
Tom Cruise it?
Yeah, just Tom Cruise it up. My other question was like, if the guy that was already doing the voice of Thor is now being Kratos, who's going to play Thor? Because Thor's even a bigger character than Ryan Hurst. So I'm going to be really interested to see how you do that.
They should get I can't think of his name right now, Newman.
Oh, Wayne Knight?
Yeah, get Wayne Knight.
The other thing, too, that I wanted to point out that a lot of people are excited with is the showrunner is Ronald D. Moore, who a lot of people consider to be one of the greatest showrunners of all time and currently the best running. He's responsible for doing a lot of the original Star Trek that was the best of the best, and he's responsible for bringing back the reboot of Battlestar Galactica, which everyone says is hands over fists, the revamp of what put it back on the map. So the fact that they've got one of the best guys doing it is exciting, and it's interesting to note that it's already been renewed for a season 2.
Hopefully it turns out better than Rings of Power.
Yeah, Rings of Power, to each their own, but I like that they're doing it. It seems like Amazon seems to be the right place to go for some of these video game adaptations, because if any of these are on par with Fallout, then I think we've got a lot to be excited for.
Yeah, Fallout's a big juggernaut, so it'll be crazy to see if this will do better or bigger numbers.
Have you started season 2 yet?
No, I think I'm just going to wait till it's all there and binge it.
Oh, man, you are missing out on that. Well, let me know when you're done with that, sir. So, guys, that is our off the top, just kind of quick news items that happened a couple weeks ago, but I figured we'd at least bring it to your attention if you haven't checked into that yet. So, anything else on God of War?
No, I'm ready to move in.
Alrighty, guys. So, that being said, let's move into our main topic, and that is that the Xbox Developer Direct just happened. That was on Thursday, January 22nd. It showed off 4 games, one being is a surprise drop. And they've noted that all these games are going to be day one on Game Pass. And more kind of interesting enough is that, or at least some people were having an issue with, is that most, if not all of these games, I believe, are coming to PlayStation at one point or another. Before we dive into what the games were,
a lot of them are day one.
On PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, at this point, anyone getting upset about that is that's old news now, right? The writing's on the wall. Xbox is now a publisher. Obviously, things going on Game Pass help anyone out that has an Xbox. But, are we upset any more than any of this is coming to PlayStation? Hey, I know I'm not.
I'm not upset, and I understand that there's still people out there hanging on. It just kind of seems weird from, a future perspective. So let's say, that's the plan going forward. Or the only way that maybe I think ideally this could make sense as a business is, okay, we're going to put out all these games, day and date. We're going to hammer you. They're going to be good games. When the new console comes out, you're going to have to wait 6 months. So if you don't want to miss out on the hype of the next Elder Scrolls, the next this, the next Fallout, the next whatever, you're going to have to get our console. Or wait 6 months, and then by then the hype's gone. You might have it spoiled for you, whatever. So that would be a genius move, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not going to piss any of the Xbox people off. It's going to piss everybody else off. Which, what do they care? But if it sells consoles, that's the only thing I just don't understand. Is you already have said you have another console in the pipeline. How does this move help you sell consoles?
Yeah. Interesting enough.
But it's something to be mad about.
Yeah. I also think of it too was where. Because you keep seeing when things launch day one, they get these underwhelming sales numbers. and we don't want to keep seeing studios.
Sales numbers because Game Pass too.
Right, but now if it launches day one with PlayStation, you're getting day one sales numbers with PlayStation instead of waiting 6 months. To where at least now there's some initial input of seeing what it sells for on a platform that's arguably more played on than the Xbox. So I kind of, if it helps the analytics show that let's not close studios down because people are buying them on day one on PlayStation, then I think that's a good move. But as far as the Xbox diehard fan, I don't know what people are still getting upset about. So with that being said, guys, let's get into what was shown off. And the first game is, Xbox Developer Direct 2026 kicked off with a look at Forza Horizon 6 from the developers at UK studio Playground Games. As we know, the game is set in Japan, where you start out as a tourist. Your first goal is to join the Horizon Festival and progress your career from there, unlocking new areas as you go. Japan is the Horizon series' largest map, Playground said. The studio worked with the consultants to make sure its representation of Japan was authentic as possible. The developers themselves visited Japan to get plenty of reference material. There are hundreds of cars with a better balanced roster and new cosmetic tire wear. Customizable garages are found at every playable house, Playground said. You can invite your friends over to see what you've built. Your estate starts off as an empty and overgrown, but you can build directly in the open world, and everything can be visited by your friends. It all sounds very Animal Crossing. Based on the video game, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, I've got to say, this looked absolutely stunning.
Beautiful
game. Graphics on this thing where it's like, man, Playground did it again. And it's crazy just how much detail they get into everything. Everything looks perfect, just from the blades of grass, the trees, and then every detail on the car, which is interesting enough because I'm not a big car guy. I'm not a big racer fan, but I will say this: even the old Forzas never really caught my eye. But when Horizon 5 came out in 2022, there was something about it that just grabbed me, man. I remember, and I was glued to it for months and months, and which is something I don't usually do. I'm a player that even as online games, I don't stick to anything for a long time. I like to move on, play a game, beat it. I was glued to it, and eventually it made my top 5 games of 2022. So this is a game I've been waiting to see, had my eye on, and it looks fantastic. And I don't really like building stuff in games. It's kind of one of my least attractive things in a game. But the co-op estate build looked really cool, that you can kind of get this lot, build up what you want. You can come in, see friends. Devin Collins with the show, I know he's really into Forza 2. I think it's going to be really fun to actually have someone to kind of play and do something like that. So for me, this was a banger. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't realize it was going to look this great. Andrew, I don't know how into Forza Horizon you are, but what were your thoughts on 6?
I'll say I think it's almost the same. I don't know that I have too much more to add. I'm the same, almost exactly the same. I'm not like a big car guy, even in real world. I just drive it to work and drive it home. I'm not like crazy about them, but this game does look really, really good. I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, I think this is it. I'm going to jump in because just watch all the little details they put to it. Like, it just looked really good. Beautiful landscape. I even love to. He's like, oh, we put in all the extra details to make it feel good. When you're rounding the corner and the cherry blossoms are getting sucked into the car and flying off and stuff. It just looks so good, and it's just such a beautiful landscape. I'm like, okay, like I'm at least gonna try it for sure. I'm gonna download it. Like, you got me. I'm playing this one.
Yeah, and it's comes out on May 15th of 2026. So it is a game that's gonna be coming right around the corner, man. Their engine, man. They've mastered that. So, yeah, really excited on that. Anything else for Forza?
No. On to the next one.
Alrighty, guys. So, the next game they showed was Beast of Reincarnation, a new action game from Pokemon developer Game Freak. This is an entirely new type of video game from the legendary studio. Directed by Kota Furushima, Beast of Reincarnation allows players to step into the role of Emma the Sealer as they journey through post-apocalyptic Japan to save humanity from extinction. It's due out summer 2026 on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. It'll also be a day one Game Pass game. They went on to say a little bit more about what it can do. So I'll just read this real quick. Beast of Reincarnation takes place in a post-apocalyptic future Japan in the year 4026. It's giving off big near Automata vibes. I always say Automata. With modern world ruins covered in overgrowth and plants, and the contrast of mutated natural creatures and machines. You play as Emma, a young woman who's been corrupted by the Blight, aka the force that's caused the destruction of most of the world. Emma is capable of sealing the Blight within her own body, a gift that allows her to purify corrupted creatures, but also makes her social outcast. She meets Ku, a wolf creature similarly plagued by the Blight, and though an unlikely set of circumstances, the pair end up on a journey together to defeat the legendary beast of reincarnation, the monster at the heart of the Blight plague. Now, I think it caught a lot of people off guard if you didn't know that Game Freak who make it is the guys that did Pokemon, and at this point it's like, dude, Pokemon can take a back seat because this game looks pretty cool. Now, I can see it might not be for everybody, but I think it's still fun to see things that are unique and cool being done by studios in a single-player capacity, introducing combat that has this kind of slow-down ability that lets you plug in your attacks. It looks like you get a lot of cool abilities. What were your initial thoughts of Beast of Reincarnation?
My biggest one when I first saw it was, wow, that frame rate is not chugging, because that's what they're known for sometimes when you play Pokemon on the Switch. But enough playing around, I thought it looked really good. I really liked it a lot. It's definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think they had said something about this like a while ago. We just kind of like heard a little bit of it. I was like, I don't really know what they could do. I can't picture them doing something besides Pokemon because that's all that they've done. But I think it looks really, really good. I do actually love the idea too of going through this like overgrown Japan. I love stuff like that. Like
love it.
When nature takes back kind of, big cities and stuff like that. For whatever reason, that just like totally gets me. So I'm super on board with it. I really like it a lot. And that's cool. Funny that he did say, like, almost like Nier. Because I was thinking that when I was watching it. I'm like, oh, there's almost kind of like Nier just feeling in a way.
Yeah, and I guess they showed off, when they did show off, it did show skill trees for both characters, a faction of mechanical golems that use to house human souls, which I thought was a really cool idea of that people that trade their bodies for golems so that they could survive the Blight. And then 3 supporting characters, Brad, Kagura, and Kune. And they also showed off Emma's traversal abilities. And they showed off her ability. It's her hair, right, that is what she's using to kind of use a lot of her abilities and things like that. Really interesting character.
Almost like Bayonetta?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, really interesting characters. And it looks like the combat's going to be really cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
It seems like the big move is just to set your game in Japan for these last
anything else on Beast of Reincarnation?
Now let's move to the next weird one.
Oh, man, this one was probably my biggest disappointment. So, a game called Kiln. Microsoft surprise announced a new game from Double Fine Productions called Kiln. Studio chief Tim Schafer revealed Kiln, which he said was all about creating with other players before destroying everything. Kiln is an online multiplayer pottery party brawler about pots that transform into playable characters via an in-game potter's wheel. Expect high-energy, expressive multiplayer action, Schafer added. Kiln is actually being re-revealed today. Double Fine publicly talked about it as far back as 2017. Expected to launch in spring 2026 on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And I have it here. Here's kind of what I guess you're supposed to do on it. Based on the pot you've made, you'll have different capabilities. Bigger pots can hold more water with which to put out the fire, but they move slower. Smaller, flatter pots have sharper edges and can do more damage to opponent pots. Battlefields will include some tunnels and pathways that are limited to only pots of certain shapes and sizes. Every pot will have different movement and attacks based on how they're made, and each pot will get different special moves depending on its shape. Things like popping popcorn, turning into a sword or a megaphone, flinging pies, or more. There is also an aesthetic customization options, colors, handles, stickers, and more. I couldn't care less about this thing. This looked, I know it's people out there are going to like it. This looked dumb to me, and nothing about it looked appealing. And for someone that wants to play games, it focuses way too hard on the part I care least about, is this big customization of making a pot to then play a battle game. Are you excited for this at all?
No, not really. I'll try it out, but I'm not crazy about it. I was saying like that you could have put anything in here. Not Halo. You could have put anything. Any B to C tier other game to reveal something, and this direct would have been a 10 out of 10. This single-handedly put it at like an 8 for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I felt like I was like, okay, like this just really kind of killed a lot of momentum. Like and maybe it's just not for me. I just don't know that this is the right spot to put it. And it's just crazy to think like that you have this studio that can do whatever, and that's cool that you give people free reign, even though there's other people who get shut down for having successful games like Tango Gameworks that fucking made Evil Within or Hi-Fi Rush, which was lauded and loved, but they got shut down. But you have these guys over here spending 10 years making a pottery game.
Yeah, we're especially here. I mean, the whole point is using sponges, shapers, scrapers, your hands, and all sort of things in a customization slider. You're literally moving a cursor on a pottery wheel and shaping it as it turns. It's like, none of that sounds fun, but I mean, there's going to be people out there that find that common soothing. For me,
I hope
because I
just hope.
I like Double Fine. I like Costume Quest. I like Psychonauts. I recently just beat the game Keeper. So I like the studio, but this game, it's like you're saying, it's like this is the game you decided to make was a pot. I mean, if you guys disagree with it, leave in the comments how you feel. But to me, I'm like, this was like,
I've never been crazy about them. I think they're like an overhyped kind of mid studio. I just like the idea of what they represent. These crazy ideas. I do appreciate the fact that I like that he was like, anyone could come up with something, and that this was one dude's just something he was toying around with. We bring it all to the table, and then we can vote on whatever people liked his idea for a game. That. So I did, and they said that that's how Costume Quest came about. So I like the idea of what they stand for, but I'm just not crazy about this.
Yeah, for me that was definitely a big letdown. So with that being said, guys, let's move into the cherry on the top of the ice cream sundae, and that's the long-awaited Fable. So Fable does have a lot to say, so hang in there with me as I kind of go through it and say what they had to say about it. Microsoft ended its Xbox Developer Direct with the star of the show. Fable Playground Games, the same dev making Forza Horizon series, has built a new team to make this Fable reboot. Its first open-world action RPG. It's carrying on the work of Lionhead, which Microsoft shut down in 2016. You begin the game as a child growing up in a sleepy rural village. You are Albion's first hero in a generation. You set off on an adventure, venturing out into the open world. This is a true open world, Playground said, which means you're free to go where you want from the start of the game. We got a decent look at character customization, combat, and of course kicking chickens. Combat combines melee and range attacks as well as powerful spells. Hobbs return as you'd expect. Outside combat, you can buy a house, get a job, make money, and romance a villager. You could buy another house, buy more houses, marry loads of people, and have even more kids. It's a game within a game, Playground said. The living population, as Playground calls it, includes 1,000 NPCs who go about their business. You can talk to each of them fully voiced conversations. You can even hire them to work in your businesses or evict them as a landlord. They'll comment on your actions too as part of the new reputation system. Some of your choices will actually change the role of Albion for the rest of the game. Coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation in the autumn of 2026. Now, I've been hyped for Fable for a while, waiting for when they were going to tell us when it's coming, waiting for us to show more. I'm still excited to play it. But nothing about this made me gain any more interest. I kind of lost interest. To me, I mean, it's
because it's been so long.
It's cool that it's cool that they're making an open world, but they showed so little on like they were some of the cheek and tongue was there, the British kind of humor, but not a lot. That's kind of what Fable was for me. Was kind of like that funny adventure. It seems like they just focused on showing you like, oh, you can buy houses, you can get married. I'm like, okay, but who cares? Like, what was the game? What can you go do? And I feel like it didn't really show me everything. I'm excited to play it. It still looks cool. Everything they showed looks badass. But I feel like they just dove into a lot of the things that weren't really interesting to me. Like, you can get married and married again and married again and evict people. I'm like, okay, but can you show me more of the game? And I feel like they were kind of just swaying away from it. And again, coming out in fall of 2026, I was, again, like, oh, really? You're gonna like, it should be out in, I feel like it should be out in 4 months with how long we've been waiting, but...
Like a summer game or something?
Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. But one of the biggest things that I was looking up that I didn't like is that the whole reputation system gets rid of what Fable was in the very beginning, where it's kind of like the light side, dark side. The more you do of good deeds, you become kind of angelic looking. The more you do bad deeds, you become kind of demonic looking. They got rid of that. There is no more of that. It's a morally gray reputation that you get that kind of affects things in the game. And to me, that was a core staple of Fable. And then one of the other things they've got rid of, and maybe it's something they'll add in later, is you don't have the dog companion anymore, which is really cool. I believe they introduced that in Fable 2. And I'm like, the two things I really dug about Fable was the dog and the light side, dark side are two things that are now gone. So for me, it's not what's Fable about it anymore. It's kind of just an open world game set in a fantasy land. It looks cool, and I definitely want to play it. But I don't know. For me, it lost a little luster. But am I completely insane for that, or how did you see it?
I like it, and I kind of understand the reasoning, and I think maybe a simple fix for that for anyone who is caught up on something with as far as like how it looks would be like maybe you just turn that off if you want your character to be able to change or not with the world, because the way they broke it down would be like, let's say you're doing something and you help out like a rich person, but it deficits the poor. So is that good or bad? Because that's what the moral problem is. Because you might be doing a good deed that benefits a rich person, that they like you or whatever, but are you like kind of crapping on the poor now? So are you more good or are you more bad for the decision you made, even though maybe you saved someone's house for burning, but maybe, I don't know, it messed up something for the poor people or whatever. So are you good or bad? And so now you have to play the rest of your game based on that decision. And if your person doesn't look like how you feel they are with the decision that you made, was that a good decision? Was that a bad decision? I could understand that. I think you could have just made
then call it something else. Why? What's Fable about it then? If you're getting rid of what Fable was, it's a cool thing to do, but like then call it something else.
I think you could just turn that off or on for like if you want your character to be able to like evolve or not evolve with like the choice.
Oh, something they could have done,
yeah, something like that. I would say I feel like that was something that kind of maybe trolled people with though too a little bit, because there was everyone complaining like, oh man, the chick is ugly and this and that, and so they started the game with her too, and I'm like, oh great, everyone's gonna be complaining now again. Here comes this ugly chick, blah 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 blah. But then after, like, because it was, like, a good, like, 5-10 minutes, and it's like, oh, and here's a character creator, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, everyone's not going to complain anymore now. I personally think it looks good.
Yeah,
I'm not, like, overly hyped for it, though. Like, I'm not, like, through the roof at the edge of my chair. There's plenty of other stuff I'm more excited for. But I think I've tried Fable 1. I never really got into the old ones, and so maybe that's why I'm kind of, like, indifferent. Not like, oh, man, they took away the core of whatever makes this. I don't know what the core of what makes it is. I know what Fable is. But to me, I wouldn't say that's a core aspect of it. But I didn't play the game, so I don't know.
I actually just recently downloaded it. Because if I remember right, Fable 1's not that long. So I think the anniversary collection's on Xbox Game Pass. So I was like, maybe I'll go back in and play a little bit that way. I did like how they showed that one character, the black guy who...
the giant?
Who does his potion and becomes a giant. And it was really cool. They're like, well, are you going to help him or you're not? I don't like how they kind of said that mission is how it goes, but they did say that if you do kill him, like he falls over and that's going to affect
his body's just
that's going to affect you able to build up the town and all that stuff. So I'm like, I do like how they're incorporating it, and I do like how instantly you're going to start going in any direction you want. So on that note, it does look cool, but for me, I just feel like they were leaning way too into like talk to 1,000 people. It's like, okay, like how many times you got to tell me that? Have a bunch of kids and get divorced and fire people. Okay, how many times do you have to say that? Like, because it felt like they shut off the combat for like 2 seconds, and then the rest of this open world for like the whole time. But that, I mean, that's not going to take away if the game's good. I wish they would have showed a little bit more.
It is a good showing, but I do agree they could have showed a little bit more than some of the other like the mundane extra, not mundane, but like the little bit of extra stuff versus, well, here's the meat and potatoes. Just give me some more of that, and then a little bit less of that.
Yeah, so that was anything else you want to add on Fable?
No.
So with that being said, I think you already kind of said your answer. Because of killing it, kind of dropped it down to a 7 for you. I mean, what was your favorite showing though? Was it Fable or was it Beast of Reincarnation? I think Beast of Reincarnation kind of stole it, because like with Fable you kind of know what you were gonna get with what you saw before. Forza is always going to be great, but I didn't know what to expect with Beast, and I can't wait to play it.
I almost want to say Beast, but I want to say Forza, and that's because I want to say Forza because I did not go in expecting to be like, okay, like this is going to be the game that's going to get me in. Sick. It looks so good that I'm like, I have to try this. Like, I just can't not.
Nice, that's going to be the one that pulls you in. So, guys, let us know your thoughts down below of the developer direct. So, that ends our main story, guys, and we'd like to end the show with, what are you up to? When Andrew and I take a second, talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, and things like that. So, Andrew, it's been a month since we've been going, so what have you been up to, my friend, since last year?
As far as watching anything, I was telling me, it's like, oh, the old show. I've been binging Survivor with my wife because it's just such an easy show to put on. We were kind of looking for something new because, especially with the baby, sometimes it's a little hard to get on the same schedule, or we're trying to hang out and do everything with him. I don't want people getting murdered around him or like all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Not to mention too, like it's hard to have something on that you can't, like, just to not be focused. And I was never really into, like, something like that. But it's so good. I don't know how much of it you've ever watched. We started with some of the newer ones, and we've gone back and watched the old ones. And it's stuff where, like, I'm coming and going. So she just leaves it on because she works from home most of the week. And I'll come back in, like, later on in the season. I'm like, okay, these people are gone. Now I'm kind of down to, like, the core people, which is more what matters for me. And it's just really good. I'm really enjoying it a lot. And I didn't think that I would. And it's crazy because my dad and his wife, ever since I was a little boy, I remember them watching Survivor, and they would have, like, Survivor parties and people come over. And I just never got it. I was like, I just don't really get it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still making it, man. That show came out, I remember being, like, in high school when that show was going on.
New season comes out next month.
Nice. What have you been playing, my boy?
As far as playing anything, I've been playing 3 different things. I'll wait to talk about another one because you played the same thing. But I did Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. If you already own it, they do have an upgrade option for $15. If you're interested, I wrote a little kind of write-up on Instagram. It is good because it's Yakuza 0, which is one of my top favorite games of all time. But I don't know that it's worth it because if you were to buy it now, if you don't have the upgrade path, it's like $50 for a game that was already selling for like $10. And all that's really added is there's some multiplayer stuff, but that's not what Yakuza is for me. There's 25 minutes of extra footage. There's only, like, I think 2 cutscenes that kind of, I'm like, okay, this is good. The other stuff I don't care for. I don't really understand why they keep making some of these decisions to, like, they kill somebody as a part of the story, but then you see that they're alive, like, off screen or, like, alluding to that they're still alive. It's like, I don't understand why that's their big thing lately. It's like, just let them die. Like, I don't understand why we keep bringing people back or changing their fate or whatever. Like, it's especially, too, because that game came out, I think, in, like, 2016, 2017 or whatever. The guy's been dead for almost 10 years. Like, why are you changing that now retroactively for something that you haven't used in any of your future games? And I don't want to see this person in the future games, because for me, he has been dead for 10 years. So, I just don't understand. So, it's good, but I wouldn't recommend buying it. Definitely get it on sale. I would recommend to start Yakuza because it is an amazing, amazing series. But the whole package of what Zero has added, I don't think it's worth it for the value that, or it is not worth that value, what they're valuing it at. My big thing that I did start, though, is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, I have been waiting forever for this game to come to Xbox.
5 years.
And it is so good. I think I'm on, like, chapter 10 already. I've been cruising through it.
Last night I saw you were on, like, 6 or 7, so yeah.
Yeah,
I saw you playing today.
Yeah, I've been, like, steamrolling through. I'm just having such a good time. The music's good. The game's good. Everything about it. Everything about it. There's one negative thing I could say so far, and I don't know if that'll change later on, but I feel like in the original that, and take this as a slight spoiler, but the game's however old now at this point, Sephiroth is always alluded to. You don't see him right away for a long time. He's always talked about the great war hero, the mythical soldier, the this guy, the that guy, and there's maybe like hints of his presence there, but you don't actually see him, I don't think, until you do and this is original, I don't think you see him until you do the Nibelheim flashback, where you fight, like, the giant dragon, and that's the first time you see Sephiroth, and you barely do, like, 1 damage, and he just kills the thing in, like, 1 swing, and that's your first time, and you're like, holy shit, like, this dude is insanely strong, like, that's the legendary, this dude's a legendary soldier. Whereas you see him in this game within the first, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah, constantly.
Constantly. And if they just didn't show him, and maybe Cloud was hearing his voice, or maybe they didn't even show him from the front, even if you just showed him from the back, or some sort of weird camera work angle, I think would have made it be a lot stronger with his presence for later on, eventually, when you are going to run into him. But at this point, it's almost like that old like horror movie tropes, like if you see something so much, not that it's not scary, but sometimes it can take away from it. It's like Jaws. You don't see the shark the whole movie, or like Alien, you don't see it the whole movie. You see it when it really matters. That I feel like that's kind of taken away, but I'm not done yet to say what that really kind of feels like, or even got to the main confrontation yet. But so far, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm seeing him like all the time.
All the time.
But I will say, in the original, and even stuff afterwards, I've always been like, at Tifa's the FF7 Bay, Aerith, all day. All day.
What happened to
Hands
Jessie?
down. Jessie...
She's still Bay.
Jessie is, but she's a little too...
It is what Tifa isn't.
Yeah, she's not as wholesome as Aerith, and Aerith is just peak.
Yeah, they did her
peak.
Perfectly, yeah.
So good. But everybody's good. I love everybody's changes. I don't think there's anyone that I'm like, oh man, I'm really like disappointed with them, especially like their personalities. And they do like a really good job of, I was talking to Craig about it. I know a big criticism of this game was like, oh, it's just a lot of it. You're spending so much time in Midgar, where the first game you spend like 15 hours, maybe 10 hours in Midgar, whatever it is, before you get out into the rest of the world. They do a really good job though of like making this place feel like, man, dude, this is a slum. Like, it's really shitty to live here. But then you have like these apologists that live in maybe slightly better sectors, and then you can understand why. Not to mention like the big plates above their head. It's really, really good. Like, I'm super excited to get through this. Like, I'm just cruising through it. I can't put it down. It's that good for me.
All right, FF1 at all, or?
Oh, no, sorry.
So as far as what I got into it, and we'll blend it in together, and we do have our write-up on Instagram, was Final Fantasy 1. I don't think I did put another
Pixel Remaster.
Yeah, the Pixel Remaster. It's a great little game to go back and play. Clearly, it's not the one with the best storyline, and when the bundle came out, Andrew and I have been passing on it for a while because it hasn't dropped from that $74.99 price. That's on Game Pass.
It was on sale for $5 less during the December sale.
Because Andrew and I share an account or share our Xboxes so that we can get games, and you can buy them a la carte. But we really wanted the bundle, and we've held off. But finally, they're kind of putting them on. Number 1 is out now. 2 is on its way.
February.
In February. It's got boosters where you can do ×4 gil and ×4 experience. So if you have played it before, like you've beaten Final Fantasy 1 back in the day, right?
No.
This is your first time? Okay. It's great to kind of cruise through it, follow a guide. Great music. It's nice to see all the original character classes. They're all nameless heroes. I had a blast going back and doing it, and I'm glad you finally, I guess, got to play it.
Yeah, I think I started with 7, and then I kind of dabbled in 7, 8, 9-ish, but I didn't really connect for me until like 10. But that's also when I was turning 10, so
right, yeah.
You're kind of at a little more age to where you can understand stuff like that.
Yeah, because me and Geno had a Nintendo and stuff, so we would play. I mean, we didn't beat it as kids, but eventually I beat it later.
Bro,
yeah.
I was like, even with the boosters, I was like going through here, and I'm like, man, I cannot imagine playing this game back then without these boosters, because it would have been such a slog.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. I'm surprised it turned into what it did now, and it's great, and it's good to go back and play it, but I'm like, dude,
it's good to be the king.
Without these boosters, I can't imagine. I would not be playing this.
So definitely check that out if you got the Game Pass. As far as what else I've been playing, I recently beat Terminator Resistance, which is a 2019 first-person shooter game developed by Teon and published by Reef Entertainment for PS4, Windows, and Xbox One. The game is based on the Terminator franchise set during the original future war depicted in the films Terminator and Terminator 2. Came out on November 15th of 2019. It's badass. Now, when you play it, the controls are a little dated. Like certain buttons that you'd be used to in first-person shooters are in different places. But
did it just come out?
No, the director's cut. 2019 is when the original one came out. But for some reason, like the way they did it, the way they designed it, just feels old. So, but nothing you can't get past. I'm just saying certain buttons are just like in different spots. But I played the director's cut, which gives you some bonus missions. And what was awesome is when you play it, there's all these different skill trees. Like you can build your stealth, you can build your survival, which you can carry more loot, find more loot. You can build your weapons, you can carry new guns and battle Terminators and kill them easier. But at the end, because there's different choices in the game you can make, so you can actually beat the game and it be non-canon. So like you don't help out John Connor and get stuff back to the past, and you'll have a certain ending. The ending what I played, because I didn't follow a guide or anything for it, I actually got the canon ending and I got to help out John Connor, and we beat the Terminators and Skynet. And at the very end, he's like, what? Because they start sending all the stuff back. They're like, what just happened right now was they sent back a T-800 to go kill my mom in this timeline, and they just sent back the T-1000 to go kill me as a kid. So like it literally ties in with the game, and the character you're playing, he gets sent in a third one, which I'm assuming they were alluding to of being a spin-off game. But dude, it was actually pretty badass. If you get a chance to get it on sale, because I think I got it on sale for like maybe $20 or something, get it.
Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, the director's cut has one where you get to play with Kyle Reese in a few extra missions. I haven't done the extra stuff yet, which is about 4 to 6 hours of gameplay. So I want to do that. And then they have another mode where you play a Terminator and you're on recon and you're out scouting and things like that. So the director's cut is the place to go. The other game I just beat was Epic Mickey Rebrush, which brings the magic of Disney to life in a vibrant 3D platformer. This faithful remake sends Mickey Mouse on an epic journey through a wasteland, a realm of forgotten Disney characters. Now, I got it because I started playing it. I've always wanted to play it. I just never decided to buy it. But it just popped up on PlayStation Plus as one of the free games for the month. So I was like, oh, perfect timing. So essentially, you're Mickey. You go into the painting. You drop the ink on it, which creates this whole wasteland where Oswald, I think his name's Oswald the Rabbit.
Yeah.
He lives there. And you're kind of messing up his world. So when you go in there to try to help all these things out, you're seeing twisted versions. So like you're in like the Disneyland Main Street. You go to Neverland and you find different versions of like the pirates and Captain Hook. So it's kind of got like a Kingdom Hearts kind of vibe where you go to these different worlds. It goes into these things where you go into old versions of Mickey Mouse movies and you do little side-scrolling platformers to beat the level. It's actually a lot of fun.
That sounds kind of cool.
I think you would dig it, man. And what's cool is number 2, because I guess there's an Epic Mickey 2, that's on PlayStation Plus as well. So now I can jump straight into that. So a lot of fun with those 2 games. As far as what I've been watching, I'll save that for another time. We're already running long. We got another show to record. So, guys, that is... leave it down in the comments below what you've been playing, what you've been watching. But that brings us an end to episode 225, the first episode back of the year, guys. Make sure you guys join us on our next episode, 226. And until then, guys, my name is Craig Perales. That is Mandrew Montemayor. Ooh, cheers.
See you out there.